Welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. We have the 2020 feature, sports with Brian Camp, and entertainment news with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, everybody. TGIF, and here we are for another Friday. We're coming to you live from New York, direct from New York City, and we are here and ready to go. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being aboard with us. We're here every Friday morning at this time, and we're here just to share your coffee hour and a whole lot of fun. We have a lot of course, talk and people who wants to chime in and, of course, get into conversation. And I throw out a topic and we get it going. We started from there. And if there's something that you want to talk about in particular, please have no fear. We're friendly people here. All you have to do is just chime in and let us know what you want to talk about. And I'll see you right there on the big screen as you come in. And I see a lot of people are coming in now. A lot of people like to sit idle on the show and just watch the show without saying anything, but that's okay too. We want to make you feel comfortable and at home. And those of you who want to chime in, well, we would like you to give us your weather forecast wherever you are around the world and across the country. We want to kind of like convey all of the weather forecasts as people come in and let them know what's happening as far as the weather front is in your area. Now, if you're living in New York City, don't worry about that. I take care of that. I'll take care of the weather over here. But the rest of you, feel free. Now, that's something that, you know, it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything, as a matter of fact. But we would ask you to do it because that's something like we like to throw in the routine. So anyway, use your own particular judgment and then we'll go along. We've got things coming along right throughout the show. We'll kind of squeeze in what we normally do on the show. Coming up, we have the 2020 feature, and that contains sports and entertainment. 20 after the hour, Brian Camp comes along, and he comes along live. You'll get a chance to meet him. He'll be here. And he has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. That's coming along. And 20 to the hour, DJ Pete was with his entertainment news. And of course, he'll give you all of the information and about artists and people who are celebrating birthdays. He'll be reciting those as he go along. However, here's the deal. DJ Pete, you know, I mentioned him, but he's not going to be here today. But as usual, he's always kind enough to leave us information for me to convey to you about what's happening this week in the world of entertainment. So we'll have that coming along and all kinds of good stuff coming along too. So we want you to stay with us. So ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, what would the coffee hour be without coffee? So I ask you, please be nice and let me shoot up. That's delicious. That's delicious. Great cup of coffee. That's how we like to start our day, with a little joke. And I hope that you have yours. And if you're spending a coffee hour, you could be at work right now. And you could be at your desk. And usually around midday, around this time, if you're in the same time zone as I am, usually you get a little coffee break. I used to have a 15-minute coffee break if you're in the corporate world. And if you get that 15-minute coffee break, we ask you to spend that 15 minutes at your desk, continue to watch the show, drink your coffee, and when the coffee break is all over, you're still at your desk and you can still watch us and do what they call multitasking. You can work at the same time and watch us. We're only here for an hour, so we invite you to stay along with us. Now, you know that we're on 3 different places. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram. So pick your choice wherever you are. If you're watching us on Facebook, we invite you to tell all your friends about it. And you can do that right now, as a matter of fact, without even talking to them. All you have to do is take this show that's on the air right now and forward it to your friends. You know, in other words, there's another word for that, tagging. Tag the show to your friends. They'll check it out. They'll come in. They'll see that you're out here. They'll feel comfortable. And of course, I try to make people feel comfortable as they come in as well, so we can talk about a lot of subjects. And they'll be here, and perhaps they may become regulars just like you. If you're watching us on YouTube, well, we invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that's something that's very easy. All you have to do is subscribe. The subscription button is right there. You click onto that, and that makes you part of the action. So therefore, once you subscribe to us, every time we broadcast, if we broadcast live, or if we so much as put a video up, something entertaining, you'll get the notifications. If you are online, you'll get that notification and you can pop right into it. Just as simple as that. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, good morning to you. All you have to do is follow us. And a lot of people do follow us. So I want to say hi to all of you guys who are sitting there idle. That's okay too. And thank you so much for being along with us. So many things to talk about, a lot of things to do today. And just in case we're 5 minutes into the show right now. 5.5 minutes into the show right now. And just in case you're just joining us, welcome aboard, and we enjoy your company. So therefore, that takes place of everything. Okay, and we've got that. So like I said, sports will be up here pretty soon. We've got that coming up. That's no problem. You'll get that. My Yankees did it again. A lot of people thought they were going to get the Yankees, but the Yankees came back. And at the end of the game, they did a walk-off. I think it was who? Oh yes, it was Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge did a walk-off single that drove a man in that won the game, and the final score was 7-6. And they were playing the Houston Astros, which between those two, no love is lost there. They love each other as much as Boston and the Yankees love each other. And we know how much they love each other. But it was a good game. But Brian, we'll convey that to Brian. I'm pretty sure Brian knows about it. We'll talk about that. Brian doesn't give any scores, but I just wanted to throw my team out there. And I'm just hoping that somewhere along the line that the Yankees and the Mets, because the Mets are doing pretty good too here in New York. So I'm just hoping that the Yankees and the Mets get it together, and because I want to see both teams play in October. I want to see both teams play in the World Series. That's going to generate a lot of money for the city if that ever happens. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Now, that's the only time I'm rooting for the Mets. I'm rooting for the Mets all season long for that purpose. Other than that, I'm Yankee through and through. Okay, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is the weather. The weather. We got weather for you. Weather. As I said, if you're going to come in and you're going to chime in conversation, throw us your weather forecast wherever you are around the world. New Yorkers, don't worry about that. I'll take care of that right now. We've got a good weekend coming up weather-wise. It's not bad at all. I love it. I'm going to enjoy this one. The temperatures have risen again. They're going back up. As a matter of fact, it's going to be cloudy skies early, then partly sunny skies or partly cloudy skies this afternoon. The sun is peekabooing as we speak right now. We'll have a high 81 degrees. That's our high for today, 81 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clear skies. We'll have a low 67 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, Saturday, boy, we don't have a cloud in the sky. We've got sunny skies all day long through and through. We'll have a high 88 degrees. Goes up once again. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, if you're going to go out a little bit, and of course, you're going to do that in safety, right? You're going to go out there, clear skies. We have a low 71. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Sunday, oh, forget about it. Forget about it. We got plenty of sunshine on the horizon. And the temperatures are going to go up to 89 degrees. See, just keeps climbing higher and higher. South-south winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that's what it looks like. And our current temperature right now, as we look at things, we've got 71 degrees already. And it's only after 10 o'clock here in New York right now. 71 degrees, and it's looking good for the weekend. And I hope that your weekend is going to be looking good. I hope that your weekend is something that you will be looking forward to. If you want to do some outdoor materials, here in New York, we're going to do that outdoor stuff, and we look forward to this weekend. I hope your weekend is just the same. Now, speaking of outdoor activity, which is always done on the weekend, you look forward to it, and the summer is here, right? officially here. As a matter of fact, summer was officially here where we are. It started Tuesday. And so everybody's going to be doing a lot of things. Everybody's going to be doing barbecuing, outdoor activities. Here in New York, people are hitting Coney Island, the Rockaways, and the beaches, and all sorts of places where they're going to cool off and have a lot of fun. So people are looking forward to that. And I brought that up, outdoor activities, because that's part of the weekend circuit, right? And what I like to do as part of your weekend too is just add to your bucket list of things to do on the weekend. And I do that with movies. I have movies, great movies that you may be interested in. That's coming up. My picks of the week, those Turner Classic Movies, that's coming up later on in the show. And I hope you'll be around to see it. It's 10 minutes past the hour, 10 minutes and a half past the hour right now. 10 minutes past the hour. And it's called the Coffee Hour. So those of you who are here chiming in, thank you so much for being along with us. And as you know, also celebrating in the month of June, we're also in the midst of Pride Week. And a lot of celebrations are going on with that. People doing parades and all kinds of festivities, and promotions are flowing all over TV and radio about it. So that's another thing that's into the mix of what's happening in June. And of course, June is almost over, and then we hit July, and you know what happens July, especially the 4th of July. I mean, you've got fireworks all over the place. And as we commemorate our country of independence, that's coming up, and a lot of other things are coming up too. But we don't want to push ourselves too far and too fast, because summer just hit and we don't want to rush it. We don't want to rush it. A lot of people say they enjoy the summer months, they enjoy the summer weather. And some people, they can't stand the summer weather. It's too hot, you know, depending on where you are. Here in New York, we get the humidity when it gets hot sometimes. Humidity, if it goes up, then we're in trouble, all right? Because we sweat like pigs out here, you know, and that's because we're surrounded by water, so humidity. But if you're, you know, someplace where there's desert, in Arizona, in Nevada, in California, the humidity, there's very little humidity there. You know, so people, you know, they walk around in shirtless, or either shirtless or short sleeves or anything like that without sweating even a bullet. You know, so again, it depends on where you're from. But nevertheless, summer is here, and like it or not, you're going to have to endure it, unless, of course, if you live in one of those warm climates. At this particular time, you want to move over to some place where it's colder, because on the other side of the world, it's winter. You know that, right? When we get summer, the other side of the world gets winter. So that's the only thing I can suggest to you if, of course, you know, you don't like the warm weather. You kind of like make the other side of the world your home, and then come back, you know, when it's when it's winter time, and then this way you'll escape the heat either way. Anyway, I'm happy that it's summer here. I'm really happy. Okay, here's a little news on the front here. Let's see. We've got news, and I mentioned this last night on Talkback Live. Those of you who watch us on Talkback Live, I'll tell you how to reach that. If you don't know about that show, we'll tell you about that at the end of the show when we're on that show. But last night we were on, and I mentioned the fact that WWE CEO Vince McMahon, people who work for them or for him, he insists that they call him Mr. McMahon. Okay, so since I don't work for him, I'll just say his name out loud. And if he wants to fire me, so be it. Vince McMahon, he paid millions of dollars to cover up misconduct. There's a lot of rumors about what was going on between him and some of the professional female wrestlers and some of the other female personnel. And I guess this is like what they call hush money. And I notice a lot of people who are in positions like Vince McMahon, who are in the billion-dollar bracket and even the million-dollar bracket, tend to say, hey, I've got the money, so it's going to work. It's going to be fine. It doesn't always work that way, because a lot of people have dignity and they say, you know, that's only money. And I really don't care about money. I just want justice. And so, no, ladies and gentlemen, money doesn't work all the time. But anyway, that's what he did. He paid millions of dollars to cover up this whole thing. And I don't know what the outlook is going to be. But the bottom line is, is that Vince is dropping his position of CEO, and he's handing it over to his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, who I'm pretty sure will do good with it, but it stays in the family either way. It's all in the family anyway. So, and by the way, she's only doing on an interim basis. She's only doing on an interim basis. So until maybe things clear up, and then maybe Vince McMahon, which of course he has the power to do that, take the rights back and become his CEO again. But in the meantime, he's dropping his position on that. So Vince, I like Vince McMahon. I think he's an arrogant son of a gun sometimes, but you know, that's I don't even know if what he does on the air is actually part of the act or if that's really him. You know, but I do know, you know, he entertains me, and I watch wrestling, and you know, he's had that company for years. And, you know, he comes up with the arrogant attitude and whatnot. But then again, you know, you're a billionaire. So I guess you're entitled as a billionaire to be a little arrogant sometimes. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but sometimes that goes on. But Vince McMahon wasn't always the owner. When he bought the company, it was the WWF. Of course, they had to drop the WWF for this particular reason. Now, WWF stands for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. So they had to drop the call letters WWF because the world, I think it's called the worldwide, the wild, is it? Oh, it's the world. I said it last night. The WWF belongs to the World Wild Federation, I believe it was. It had to do with animals, all right? I just don't have it on hand right now, but it's the, it's the World Wildlife Federation. That's what it is. The World Wild Federation, yeah. Something to that nature. Anyway, they had to drop those call letters for that because they didn't own it. They didn't have the rights to those call letters, so they had to take it down and then become the WWE. So, you know, he owned it from the WWF right through the WWE. He still owns it now. And, you know, so maybe he'll become CEO after everything is cleared up. Maybe after everything is cleared up, it'll happen. But he didn't always own it. When he started working in the business, he was an announcer. I think he was like a desk announcer, calling the shots of the plays that was happening as they were doing the acts in the wrestling ring. And that's how he started. He was interviewing wrestlers and, you know, that kind of stuff. But then eventually now he's the owner, and we'll see what happens. And he participated in some matches too. You know, he even had, to avoid mentioning his name, I'll just say 335/666 Beast Incarnate was on there, and they did an act on there, but that's not important. You know, everybody has a name for this guy. Whoopi Goldberg calls him, you know who. That's what Whoopi Goldberg say. And other people have a lot of things and different names, nicknames for him, just to not say his name. All right, which leads me to this story too. 7 people involved in the CBS late night show with Steve Colbert. You know, Steve Colbert, you know, you heard of him. He's a comedian on CBS on the Late Show. And these people were charged with unlawful entry at the office building used by the House of Representatives. Now, the office building used by the House of Representatives, that was the January 6th insurrection. And so you wonder, you know, these people that work for Steve Colbert, his staff, or some of his staff, were swept up in that, and they were charged. See, everything comes to surface now. You know, everything comes to surface. That's a little tidbit I picked up this week. So things come to surface now, and maybe these people thought, you know, because they were working for CBS that they wouldn't get caught. You know, everything is swept under the rug, or everything is done on the down low. But CBS, remember, if you have the name CBS tagged on your back, if you have that name CBS tagged on your back, you're out there. You're out there. You can't escape anything. And so what becomes of these people who were charged? Do they keep their jobs, or what do they do? Do they keep their jobs, or do they simply go scot-free? You know, we don't know. We don't know. But what I would like to know what's going to happen with that. We'll find out later. We'll talk more about that later on. But right now, I want to go to Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and it's sunny skies over here because I think Brian sends the sun over here. Maybe that's what happened, because whatever weather he gets, I eventually get over here. But Brian Camp is over there in Charlotte with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Was I kind of fair about that assessment?
No, I was on the opposite. What you see are clouds behind me, but it rained. Like I told you, last night it rained a lot during the afternoon. Now my grass is greener, so I'm glad of that. But and then I think it rained overnight too here. But it was hot like this whole week though. It was like in the 90s, high 90s. Now it's we had some nice comfortable weather yesterday after the rain left. It was 75 degrees, and it's 75 degrees now, going up to 90, but it's going to be cloudy all day. So this is good weather just to take a nap in and just relax and just take care of their business and everything. So
yeah, we're going to get some good weather for the weekend here. But you don't mind the rain over there?
I don't mind the rain because the rain helps the grass. We have droughts here sometimes in the South here, where that you welcome the rain and it won't burn up your grass instead of just going up, and it saves you money too. You don't have to keep on watering your grass, so it saves some water bill and just let the rain. When the rain was coming down, I said, yeah, come on, keep on coming, and it was coming down. It rained for quite a period, so I didn't have to water my grass last night. Don't have to do it today. Probably won't do it until maybe Sunday. I don't do anything, so I'll do it on Monday if it doesn't rain again. So, but yeah, good morning to you and everybody out there in Zoom and Facebook and Instagram and anywhere else, on YouTube and anywhere else. How you are just tuning in. I greet you all. Good morning as we head into the weekend. We got some sports. Those Yankees did it again. Oh my! They did it again. They won in extra, not in extra innings, but I think it was. But they won on a walk-off by Aaron Judge, who's the leading candidate for the MVP. Congratulations to your New York Yankees. They are really going into the right directions. They don't need no kind of negativity or no kind of disruption. Just don't fix anything that's not broken, and that's what they're doing. They just keep on winning. So, but in sports, the WNBA star Brittany Griner has tried to call her wife nearly a dozen times this week through the U.S. Embassy in Russia on the couple's 4th anniversary last Saturday, but they never connected since the phone line at the embassy was not staffed. So they missed the opportunity. They said they're going to try this again. They're going to reschedule this. She hasn't spoken to her wife, Sherelle, since it's been 4 months. So, so she's trying to get, connected. Now, as you know, Brittany Griner, as I've been reporting in the last couple of months, that she's been detained and being arrested at a Russian airport on drug-related charges. And the White House, Joe Biden's administration said it was an unfortunate mistake, but they're going to try to reschedule it. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, winning another title, the 4th NBA title in 8 seasons, as Stephen Curry was named Finals MVP. Yes, not the regular season MVP, but Finals MVP. You get the regular season MVP, and now you get the championship MVP. So congratulations. This is his first time winning this special award in his illustrious career, and he has a great career and still going strong. The next day, Davidson University announced that they will retire Stephen Curry's number 30 by the school. This is coming up in August 31st. No star athlete period is allowed to have their number retired unless they graduate from school as part of the celebration. Curry will be inducted into Davidson's Athletics Hall of Fame. So there you have it. Last night started the NBA draft, rounds 1 and 2 at New York City, Madison Square Garden. You got some prominent young players coming into the league that were drafted. So congratulations to those who were drafted in the first and second rounds. We'll be hearing from these here gentlemen soon. There's going to be some mixed trade reports coming up in the next week or so, whether some, especially with Kyrie Irving, whether he wants to stay in Brooklyn or go elsewhere. It's all about the money, all about the money. I don't believe he's going to leave $30 million on the table. Would you? Nah, nobody's going to leave $30 million on the table, but we'll find out something next week. In the NFL, Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end Rob Gronkowski is retiring for the second time as he made his announcement on this past Tuesday. Gronkowski had previously retired after the 2018 season with the New England Patriots, and because of injuries and his body was getting beat up, he was just getting, when you go through that transition of getting older, your body takes a beating. But Tom Brady had called him up back in 2018 or 2019 for him to come back. And they talked to him about coming for the 2020 season. And he came back and won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. But this time, I think this is for good because you don't want to risk permanent damage to your body and to the head because, the football players, they take a beating. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Johnson has settled all but 4, see my fingers, 4 lawsuits filed against him since March 16 of 2021. 25 lawsuits have been filed against Watson, alleging sexual assault and other inappropriate behavior during massage sessions. Yes, anything could go during those sessions, but this is all alleged. He has settled out of court with everybody except for 4. One of the lawsuits was dropped by the plaintiff when the judge ruled her petition had to be amended with her name. The 4 remaining lawsuits are still pending. We will find out. Something will happen sooner or later in the upcoming days or weeks. Major League Baseball, Sandy Koufax, when he joined the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1955, he was in awe of being in the same team with the late Jackie Robinson. Many of you know Jackie Robinson is the first African-American to break the color barrier and desegregated baseball, where people of all color could now play. Now, 67 years later, the two are immortalized in a bronze at the entrance of Dodger Stadium. So Koufax statue was unveiled last Saturday in the Center Field Plaza in the Dodger Stadium. Koufax statue was announced in 2019, but was originally slated to be unveiled the following year until COVID came and the pandemic hit hard, put all those plans on hold. It has been 50 years since Koufax was one of the first Dodgers to ever have his number retired, along with Jackie Robinson and Roy Campanella. It has also been the golden anniversary of Koufax being the youngest player ever elected into Baseball Hall of Fame. This day in sports, June 24th, 1882. Was any of you all born out there? Huh? I don't think I was. I doubt that. But in 1882, the nationally expelled umpire Rich Hyman for baseball for dishonesty after his links with gambling on games are confirmed. A lot of people's been connected to gambling. You had the scandal, the White Sox scandal, the Black Sox scandal. You had Pete Rose. So everybody was doing a lot of gambling in the history of Major League Baseball. 1922, charter NFL club Chicago Staley renamed to the Chicago Bears by team founder and head coach George Halas. 1930, groundbreaking for construction of the Cleveland Municipal Stadium, home of that time the Cleveland Indians, who is now called the Cleveland Guardians, from 1932 to 1993, and NFL Browns football team from 1946 to 1995. 1947, Major League Hall of Famer, we just spoke of him, Jackie Robinson steals home for the first time ever, and he did it 19 times after that. It's amazing. 1983, Don Sutton becomes the eighth pitcher to strike out 3,000 batters. In 1984, Joe Morgan sets a career home run mark for second baseman with 265. And in 1989, Vince Coleman steals a record 39 and 40th consecutive bases. That's amazing. He stole 39 and he stole 2 bases on that day and was not caught for 40 consecutive attempts. That's amazing. That's incredible. That record may not be broken, but we'll see. And finally, in birthdays, 1895, Jack Dempsey, boxer, was born in Manassa, Colorado. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
And Sandy Koufax is 86 years old. Did you know that? 86.
Sandy Koufax is 86 years old. Yeah, yes, he is. That is correct.
He'll be 89 December 30th, right after the Christmas holiday. And he's,
okay. Wait, you said 86 and now he's 80, he's going to be 89? He's jumping three years?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did I say that? 86, 87. He'll be 87.
87, okay.
At the end of the year, December.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so Sandy Koufax, by the way, we talked about it on the show last night, that big brawl between Johnny Roseborough and Juan Marichal.
Juan Marichal, right? Yeah.
Sandy Koufax was a picture of that game. Because when they broke up, I saw him because when they tried to break up the fight, because that was a bench clearing brawl. And Sandy Koufax was a picture of that game. That was the brawl of the century. I don't think there's going to be another brawl like that, because if it is, someone's going to go to jail.
Jail and a heavy suspension and a heavy fine too, as well too. Giants and Dodgers never liked one another. They go back to the days and being in New York when the Brooklyn Dodgers used to meet the New York Giants, and they did not like one another. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of these teams they have these rival things going on, and sometimes it's more than one team. For instance, the Yankees and Houston Astros, and I'm not really into this interleague play anyway, but since they are doing it, the Yankees and the Astros, there's no love lost there, and definitely not with Boston Red Sox. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, is the Dodgers the only rival team that the Giants have? Because we have
Giants and Dodgers, yeah, it's like mixing bleach and ammonia together. They do not like one another. The Giants and Dodgers, they just don't like one another. Now the Giants used to have a stadium. Here's give you a little short history. The Giants and the Yankees used to play across a bridge. So the Giants used to play in the Polo Grounds.
Yeah.
And the Yankees, according to what these historians are saying, purposely built Yankee Stadium in the early 20s so the Giants could overlook them across the bridge, that big old mausoleum.
Yeah.
And so the Giants took it personal, and the Giants, which the Yankee Stadium is still there, the Giants left the Polo Grounds in 1958 and moved to San Francisco. But that was just that might be a little jealousy, because they had a little small rival, but it's not like Yankees. I mean, it's not like Giants and Dodgers.
Yeah, I know they couldn't get along, and with that brawl with Marichal and Roseborough, I mean, I got a picture of them. I talked to you about it last night. I have a picture of them 40 years later after that brawl. Mm-hmm. And you know something, Marichal wind up playing on the Dodgers. He wind up on the Dodgers.
Yeah. Jackie Robinson, before he retired, was going to play for the Giants.
Yeah.
But he said I'd rather retire.
Yep, that's what he said. That's what he said. And he didn't want to leave Brooklyn. And he didn't want to leave Brooklyn. They moved him out to Brooklyn, from Brooklyn to Los Angeles. And they already had plans to set up another stadium, a new stadium for the Dodgers, where the Barclays Center is today. That's where the Dodgers Stadium was supposed to be. If you know the structure of the Barclays Center, you look at the Barclays Center, the structure of the Barclays Center looks like Ebbets Fields.
Ebbets Fields, that's right. Yeah.
Like Ebbets Field.
And here's another little history for some of you people out there. When the Giants when the Dodgers left in 1957 and the Giants left in 1958, they only had one New York team, was the Yankees, but no teams in the National League. So when the New York Mets came along, they came in 1962. So what they did was they took the two colors of the Dodgers, which is blue, and the Giants, which is orange and black, and they combined them, and the Mets wear blue and orange. That's how the Mets got their colors in memory of the Giants and Dodgers.
And they were the Metropolitans.
They were New York Metropolitans. They actually played in the Polo Grounds for the first couple of years too.
Yeah, they did.
And until Shea Stadium was built, I believe in 1963 and 1964. Yeah.
And the Yankees were the Highlanders.
The Highlanders in the early 1900s.
Yeah. Did the Giants have another name before?
They were, yes, they were. In fact, they were one of the first original teams. They came out in 1880 something.
86, I believe.
1886, I think it was. Yeah, they had a name.
I remember. I just read it.
I can't remember the name. I should know that as a Giants fan. But yeah, they were called the Gigantics or something. But yes, the Giants was one of the originals. Yeah.
Did you get that clip I sent you with Jimmy Pearsall?
I got the clip, but I didn't review it yet. I'm going to view it today.
I would love you to see the whole movie, but I found the clip. There's a few clips. If you go on YouTube, there's a few different clips of the movies. You could check it out. But I sent you that one particular clip because that clip was so profound. You know, I wanted you to see that one. When you get a chance, you'll see it anyway.
I'll see it.
Oh, so what's up for the weekend?
Tonight I got to start cooking. I have to, had a family, not a family thing, but I have a repast to do. So going to be cooking smoke some food for early for tomorrow morning. So I'm going to get an early start today right after the show, and I'm going to go out there and cook some meat to show my appreciation to the people and give my condolences, my gift to the people. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And while I'm going to do that, because it's going to be an all weekend thing, because you cook it low and slow, Netflix, Prime, and whatever pops in my mind. Okay. I like that. Netflix, Prime Video, and whatever comes into my mind.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll catch you back here next week.
Enjoy. Everybody be safe. Take care.
Yeah, Brian. All right, that was Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. He's here every Friday at this time for his first part of the 2020 feature. He's always here 20 after the hour with his sports update. The latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ Pete along 20 to the hour. DJ Pete is not going to be here today, but I do have the information that he sent to me, which I will convey to you on his behalf. So we hope to see him back here pretty soon. But in the meantime, this is how it's going to go. Summertime, everybody's busy doing something. Something's happening in the summertime, when the weather gets hot. And so we'll be doing that for you in just a few. And just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And my name is Frank Allan. I thank you so much for being along with us. Those of you who are watching us, you're watching us from three different places, right? We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, and who knows where we will be. You know, they always say that things go out in the air, on the air, airwaves. Now, I used to be a radio disc jockey, and they always said that when you're on the air, whether it's TV or radio, you're on the air. Everything that you say and everything that you do travels in the air and it stays out there forever, infinity. And so after you're long gone, you're still out there. So people like me will live forever in that vein, of course. We'll live forever. Some of my old friends in radio who passed on, who are no longer with us. They're still here, up in the air, up in the atmosphere. They're still here. You probably, they say, you know, if you listen to your bed springs, which they don't make bed springs anymore, do they? Not the mattress, no. But back in the day when, or you say back in the day or back in those days or whatever, they had bed springs. And it was told that you could actually hear old radio shows. Even if the person wasn't alive, you could hear them reflected off the bed springs while you sleep. I never had that. We don't have bed springs anymore. Anyway, that's the way it goes like that. Unless, of course, you own a sofa, you know, a convertible sofa, you know, in case you want to have a lot of springs on that, whatever. I haven't experienced that, you know, but if that's the case, I will still be here amongst all of you, even after I'm long gone. If you're just joining us, it's the coffee hour, so excuse me while I shoot up. Okay, looking good. And while we're at it, we might as well get along, little doggies. Get along, little doggies. DJ Pete, of course, as I said, he comes in with his part of the 2020 feature, and this is his part of the show right now, DJ Pete Entertainment segment. And here we go. Let's get started right now. We're going to start right now, January 19th. January 19th, the year 2000, man, I'm sorry, the year 1902. Guy Lombardo was born. Remember Guy Lombardo? He was a band leader, and he was born on this day, June 19th. Not this day, but he was born June 19th. He passed away November 5th. He passed away a day before my 27th birthday. And he was a Canadian-American band leader. And of course, you always heard him on the 4th of July, not the 4th of July, but on New Year's Eve. He was famous for that musical sound that he did, Auld Lang Syne. You probably heard that a million times, and his horns had that. Anyway, Guy Lombardo, Mo Howard, no, that's Curly. But Mo Howard, you want to stay away from him. Don't get him angry because he'll smack you right in the head. He was born on this day in 1897, Mo Howard of the Three Stooges. And yes, indeed. His real name was Moses Harry Horowitz. They're out of Brooklyn, New York, the Three Stooges. But the Howard boys, Shemp, Curly, which his name was Gerard or Jerry Howard, they were all born in Brooklyn. They come out of Brooklyn, New York, and they lived in the Brownsville section of Brooklyn, New York. And he was born June 19th, 1897, and passed away May 4th, 1975. And they still run the Three Stooges on the air to this day. If you watch it every Saturday, you get to watch it on MeTV. You know, that's something he's there. But yeah, he died at the age of 77. He was 77 years old when he passed away. And these are the kind of comic guys that last for, and you never get tired of their routine. It's just like when you watch Abbott and Costello, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know what's on third. You never get tired of that. It just is all the time. Okay, we move along. June 20th, 1920, Danny Cedron. Now let's see. You may not know who he is. He may not be a household name to you. His real name is Benito Joseph Danny Cedron. Now, Danny Cedron was an American guitarist and band leader, best known for his work with Bill Haley and the Comets back in the old days when they were playing rockabilly. He was born on June 20th, 1920. He passed away June 17th, 1954. He was only 33 years old. Only 33 years old. And as they say, only the good die young. Okay. And like I said, he played for Bill Haley and the Comets. Okay. On that same day, in 1924, Chet Atkins was born. Okay, I happen to know Chet Atkins very well. I am not personally, but I know him because I used to play some of his music as well. His real name was Chester Burt Chet Atkins. Chester was his name. He was born June 20th, as I said, 1924. He passed away June 30th, 2001. And he was known as Mr. Guitar. And he played, he was and the Country Gentleman. That was his name. And he was an American musician who, along with Owen Bradley and Bob Ferguson, helped create the Nashville sound. So yeah, you know, they say, you say to me, you played his music. Let me tell you something. I got into radio. When I got into radio, I didn't want to be typecast as any one particular sound of music to play on the air. So you name it, I played every format there was, you know, because I didn't want to be typecast. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. Okay, who else do we have here? Okay, we go to the same day, June 20th, 1952. 1952, now everyone knows this guy. His name is John Goodman, actor John Goodman. He was known for his character, Dan, let's see, what was his last name? Dan, Roseanne show, and he was Dan. What was it? What was their last name on that show? The Connors. Oh, they Dan Connors. Yeah, he was born. He was Dan Connors, and of course, he was born on the 20th, and he was an American actor, and he also played with Denzel Washington on that movie, the movie of the Macabre. That movie was called Fallen. And of course, he was at ABC, and now he's still active. He's on the show called The Connors now, and there's a long, well, you know that long story about the Roseanne situation. You know, she's like, they only run reruns of her show, but you know they no longer. Well, you know, you get what we deserve. Okay, Chris Christopherson, June 22nd, 1936. Chris Christopherson, he was a country singer. And Chris Christopherson was the, would you believe that his real name was Christopher Stauffer? So instead of using Christopher Stauffer Christopherson, he just cut it, Chris Christopherson, which was, by the way, with a K, not a C, Chris. And he was born on the 22nd of June, 1936, and he retired as an American singer and a songwriter. He became an actor too later on, and also he was married too to one of another country singer. And let's see, what's her name? What was her name? It's here somewhere. It should be here somewhere. Can't see it. It's not here. It should be here, and I'm looking for it. Let me see if I can get that, because they usually have the spouse's name and everything. He has 8 children, I understand. 8 children, and he's still alive. He's still around. And yeah, Rita Coolidge, the singer Rita Coolidge. He was married to her. They've been long divorced. Many years, but I understand. I don't know if the 8 children, if she had all the 8 children, I don't know about that, you know, but, you know, he did have children with her. Move along, Ella Johnson, sister of Buddy Johnson. And she was born June 22nd, the same year, 1919. Now, Ella Johnson, joined her brother Buddy Johnson in the New York as a New York teenager. They were born in New York, and I think she was born in New York. Anyway, and they were big band. They were big banners, and were, you know, leading the popular band at the Savoy Ballroom. You know, back in those days, they had the Savoy Ballroom, and they led the big band, and Ella joined her brother then. So she would have been celebrating her birthday I believe, let's see, she was born in 1919. So no, she's no longer around with us. 1919. Okay, we move along and let's see what we got. Helen Humes. Now we go back way in time. Here's another one. Helen Humes was born on June 23rd. And that was yesterday, as a matter of fact, Helen Humes. And Helen Humes passed away September 9th, 1981. She was 68 years old. And Helen Humes, by the way, her occupation, she was a jazz singer. Was an American jazz and blues singer. Helen Humes. I remember her music. I played a lot of her music when I was a jazz disc jockey. I played a lot of her music too. And so her birthday would have been yesterday, 23rd. And as we move along, and as life goes on, Gene Austin was born on this day. Gene Austin, not Gene Autry, Gene Austin. Gene Austin was better known as the stage name Gene Austin. That was the stage name. His real name was Lemuel Eugene Lucas. All right, now Eugene, of course, you can't go wrong with Eugene, but he was Gene Austin. And so he was an American singer and songwriter, and one of his first crooners. He was a crooner back in those days, and he recorded My Blue Heaven, songs like that. And back in those days, they used a megaphone too, but I think Rudy Valley was like famous for the megaphone, right, when he sung. Okay, here's someone that I remember. I played a lot of his music too when I was an R&B disc jockey. Eddie Floyd. Eddie Floyd. Birthday would be tomorrow, June 25th, 1935. Eddie Floyd. Knock on Wood. Knock on Wood. And he had a big hit with that. Knock on Wood. Eddie Floyd was the founder, by the way, of the Falcons, which, by the way, Wilson Pickett sang with the Falcons too many years ago. The Falcons, he was the founder of that group. He passed away. Did he? Oh no, he's still around with us. I'm thinking about someone else. Okay, Eddie Floyd is still with us. I don't want to kick everybody off. You know, they're still here. So yeah, he was born, well, his birthday would be tomorrow, the 25th, 1937. He will be 85 years old tomorrow. So happy birthday, Eddie Floyd. Thank you so much for all of your great music. And thank you so much for allowing me to play your great music. I enjoy it so much. Here's somebody else I played too, as well. Also having a birthday tomorrow, born in 1945, Carly Simon. Carly Simon. Now everybody knows Carly Simon. She's still with us. She will be 77 years old for tomorrow. And Carly Simon was famous for all of those great tunes like Anticipation, you know, which wound up in a Heinz commercial. And she was married to James Taylor, and they did the cover record together. Like the great cover record they get together, Mockingbird, you know, which was a cover record. So happy birthday to Carly Simon, and she's still at it, by the way. I remember Carly Simon did a performance, a free performance some years back at Grand Central Station. I happened to be just passing by and I had a chance to see it. Carly Simon, she's one of my favorites too. And finally, tomorrow, June 25th, in 1903, George Orwell, the writer of the novel, he was a novelist. And let's see what we have more information about him. He was an English novelist and a journalist as well. And he was characterized as a social critic. He's, let's see, he was born, like I said, on the 25th. His birthday would have been tomorrow. He passed away January in 1950 at the age of 46 years old. And so George Orwell, there he was. Okay, thank you, DJ Pete, for all of that information. And DJ Pete, of course, you can catch his radio show. And we hope that he's back here next week. You can catch his radio show on www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. You can catch him Mondays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Also, you can catch him on his hometown station, WMPG, And if you can't catch them on the radio, you can go to the website. It's right there. It's www.wmpg.org, and that's every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m., all times Eastern Time and zone in the USA and Canada. I have some birthdays of my own. I do, and I'm going to send them out to you right now. Here they go, birthdays today. Actress Nancy Allan, who is no relation, by the way, but she's a fine actress. She's 72 years old today. Mick Fleetwood, Fleetwood Mac, 75 today. American politician George Pataki is 77 today. Musician Jeff Beck is 78, and actress Michelle Lee of Knots Landing, she's 80 years old today. And finally, the late journalist Pete Hamill would have been 87 years old today. So there you have all of those great people. Happy birthday to all of you who are still with us, and all of you who are not with us, rest in peace, and happy birthday to all. Okay, you know, on the weekends, of course, we like to give you information on what to do and where to go and have a good time. And of course, barbecuing and everything else coming along for the weekends, and the holidays are coming up too. And but we focus on the weekends, and what we do is that even though you have so much to do, we like to add to your weekend as well. Now, I have movies we call classic movies. They come from Turner Classic Movies. The classic movies that you love, they're black and white movies, they're color movies, depending on what year they're on. But we have some for you. We're going to give it to you right now. Here's one that's in Technicolor that goes back to 1956 called Forbidden Planet. Leslie Nielsen and Anne Francis together on that movie, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that tomorrow, Saturday at 4:15 p.m. Everything is Eastern here. And you have Mahogany. Here's going back to 1975 with Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams. Mahogany. Also, Anthony Perkins is in this movie as well. It's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. And Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro back in 1976. Jodie Foster is in there when she was a young girl. And that's tomorrow as well, Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And that's right there on Turner Classic Movies. And finally, here's another one. Here's a classic. It goes back to 1957 that I think you'll like. I think you'll like it. It's based on a true story. It's called I Want to Live. And that's starring Susan Hayward. And that's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's on Sunday. You can catch that Sunday, but it's early in the morning at 7:45 p.m. So, you know, if you don't want to wake up that early, and who wants to wake up that early on a weekend? You want to sleep late? You can go there and you can DVR it and watch it at a later time. All of these movies you can DVR, and all of these movies, they never overlap each other. I designed it that way so you can watch them all in full. But that's I Want to Live, 1958, Susan Hayward, and that's Turner Classic Movies, and that's Sunday, 7:45 a.m. Eastern. Now, also, you can go to Movie on Demand and watch all of these great movies, you know, movies that date back to 1930s, 40s, 50s, and so forth and so on. Movies that you haven't seen in a long time, and movies that may jog your memory. Just go there. They're chock full of movies right there. You can check it out. And you go to the networks, if you like Lifetime movies, whatever's available, you can watch them. And of course, sports. If you miss something in real time, you can always go back and check it out again the following day, because that's what they usually do, on demand. That's what they call it, on demand. Whatever you miss, you can check it out. And all kinds of other great things, all kinds of classics, and I think you'll like them. So let me go over these movies again for the weekend. These are my picks for the weekend. And by the way, you can go to Turner Classic Movies and go through the guide, the program guide, and check out other movies that I didn't mention, because I don't mention, and these are just my picks, but there are other great movies too. Let's get it going. Okay, Forbidden Planet with Leslie Nielsen and of course Anne Francis. That's Saturday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. You have Mahogany with Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams. That's Turner Classic Movies, Saturday. That's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. That's Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I got two movies that's 10 p.m. It doesn't look right. Mahogany must come on earlier than 10 p.m. I'll have to check it out. I'll post it on Facebook for you. Okay, but I'll get it right. I'll post it on Facebook. Okay, let's see. You have I Want to Live. That's what we have, and that's with Susan Haywood, and that's Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 7:45 a.m. And that's all there is to it. And that's all it is to the show. I'm going to leave you now, but I will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, God's will, I'll be back here checking you out, and you check me out here on the Coffee Hour. First of all, you can check me out on my show, Talk Back Live. That's every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Other than that, back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp, 2020 feature, 20 after the hour, DJP, 22 the hour with entertainment news. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with Frank Allen. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistance, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.